price
As the seers there and capture them,
Yo, can you set that camera for me? I'm gonna bounce it. All right, we're good.
Yeah, man.
All right, we're back. That was a short intermission. Now we got Khalil. You guys are
Yes.
very familiar with Mr. Brown, Khalil Brown. He has done he's our nutritionist from time, beginning of Carver Ranch. He's the man who's always advised us on everything to do our goat nutrition.
Yes.
So earlier, when I had all those technical issues, I was trying to showcase the TMR machine, the running of the TMR machine, what you were doing. It was so loud, people couldn't actually hear, and they muted the mic, and
Oh,
it was an
understand,
issue.
understand.
So now, give us a brief rundown of what we're looking at and what your objective is by showcasing the TMR machine.
All right. Ultimately, guys, the tier machine is really putting mixing in your hands. Everybody, a lot of farmers try to do their own
Hmm.
mixing. They don't mix properly. They use shovel. What this machine do is give it that homogeneous blend. And what I was really trying to demonstrate is that step-by-step procedure, how you would add the ingredients, how we look at the scale to ensure to weigh in the right amount is going inside of it, and then like the timeline it would take for you to get that proper blend. That was really what I was trying to demonstrate today. I wanted to kind of show you this stationary model. It's the first stationary model in the island. You guys probably used to the big one that the cattle farmers use that is propelled by a PTO shaft. This one comes with own engines, gas powered. You just
Hmm.
get it on your farm, quick startup. There's a self-propelled version to this. If you look on YouTube, you'll see one. You can literally drive it for yourself without a tractor.
Yeah.
So that was really it for today. It was kind of demonstrate that mix for you.
Okay, so I noticed there's a scale on it.
Yes.
So every time you add
And add an
an
ingredient.
ingredient, you
Yeah,
have the ability to weigh that
the
ingredient.
way that ingredient.
Hmm.
Even today, as you learn as you go along, is that what is the importance for you to ensure that it's settled properly. It's actually sensors, the
Hmm.
load cells inside of it. So you want to ensure that like if you're doing hay, you want to kind of wet the hay properly
Hmm.
to make it settle at the bottom so you get the correct weight. After that, it should be pretty good. Because when the ingredient keep going up and down, you see a fluctuation in the scale. So that is just a part of the learning process of mixing with this machine.
Okay, so we start off saying TMR. Well, can you explain what TMR is?
All right, TMR is an acronym for Total Mixed Ration. And as it says, it's a mix in your own ration on your farm. The total mix mean that with our guidance from HiPro, we give you a balanced formulation that make it total. Some person use what you call PMR, acronym for partial mixed ration.
Hmm.
That is just a regular mix, what most farmers do. They don't balance it right, or they don't add any concentrate. They use just different raw ingredients or whatever they can find on the farm. But when we say total, we mean it's balanced to the T. And again, I think it's a game changer for Jamaica as we try to make farmers more self-sufficient with their production.
Okay.
You ultimately don't depend on us anymore.
Yeah.
You have high pros give you everything. We give you the option to use various ingredients. Like for you might have your lucina around. You can say, Khalil, what and how am I going to add my lucina? I want to cut down on my grains. The reality, grains price getting expensive. I could say, okay, you can substitute this amount with this ingredient that you have. You might have some brewer's grain. You might want to add some brewer's grain to your formulation, and we could assist you in doing that because you're trying to lower that feed cost. This machine ultimately give you that option,
Yeah.
and then because of that homogeneous blend too, you're really and the measuring. You really know budgeting your feed properly, and a lot of us not doing that, so we're losing. We think we're showing 1 pound,
Yeah.
and we're doing 1.5, and that 1.5 is an additional $5 based on where grain prices is now.
Well, the precision of the precision of weighing everything, measuring everything that you're putting in the TMR is an added value.
Yes, no doubt.
Like you can precision. Dr. Denny talked about it earlier when we had all the problem with the precision feeding, precision ration, where you know exactly what you're doing, what you're targeting, what your objectives are, based on the ration that you make.
Yes, no
So
doubt.
that, I've been a big promoter of TMR from time,
So true.
from beginning. I always wanted to get into TMR. So I'm looking forward to. Is there a smaller one to that?
No, this is the smallest version that we have. Good to have you, Mr. Sears. You're next.
Sears is next on the hot seat.
So it's the smallest version. It's a point 0.5 ton,
Yeah.
and then we go up from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's follow up on it and see the progress. Is
Yeah.
anybody is that gonna be on any farm, goat
All
farm?
right, the plan is really to put this onto Unity Burgold Farm. So, that Unity Mandeville cluster, we're hoping to get it there so the farmers now can
Why?
go to Unity and purchase their TMR.
You're gonna make me have to argue with Mackie now.
No, no, man. We want dairy board involvement in this. That's why
Cause
I keep saying it. In Israel, this is what they do. Get
okay,
the
I got
farmers
the
in group.
JDDB coming up
Yeah,
next. So I hopefully he can help me get one of those because we're producing milk.
now, well, let me be honest. The dairy board is actually purchasing some from us right now for a couple of
Yeah, but
dairy
he's
farmers.
sending it to cattle, man. I'm talking about goat.
I know Sears is fighting for the small ruminant guys. I can really say that. If they're fighting for livestock,
Oh no,
I
you
agree.
can switch up.
I agree for
You
livestock.
could, you could-
But yes,
okay.
with inclusion now with the whole semen for small ruminant farmers, I think is a real good for Sears. I have to give him that. But yeah, I'm actually purchasing a couple machines for some farmers.
What? All right. Well, let's talk to the man
Come,
who's
Mr.
purchasing
Sears.
stuff. I think you got to switch. You got to switch microphones. So bear with us. You got to pull out the thing. Bear with us, folks, while we switch microphones. So because we're multicasting, I think I can't do anything unless the HiPro say they want a piece of it. That's the agreement. But
You get to see it good.
I know, like it's everything shaky around here. It's
All right,
them.
that's good.
Um, Paul Sears,
Ray,
respect,
respect
boss.
again, bro.
Of course, welcome to iGoat chat for the umpteen times.
Yeah.
But
About
the
fourth,
first,
fourth time.
fourth time.
Yeah.
But the first Denbigh live,
Denbigh live, which is
yeah,
good.
which is good.
Yeah, we like it. We like the growth of the program.
Of course, man. Like
It's not just a little Facebook
not a
program.
little Facebook program. We
Thing
say
I
we're
go on.
gonna come here. We're gonna grab as many people we can
Definitely.
to get on and talk to them, so people can actually realize that these people are
Serious.
serious. People are live in the space, and the people who talk on Facebook or whatever are willing to sit face to face
Yeah,
and
man.
have constructive conversation. Now you're the current CEO of the JDDB,
Yeah, the acting CEO right now.
acting CEO. What is your number one objective?
All right. Number one objective, as you know, our mandate is in milk production.
Mm-hmm.
So our number one objective as a board written in the legislation for the dairy board is to develop the dairy sector in Jamaica. As you know, and for the umpteenth time again, the dairy board was created in 2007, as a response to what happened in the 1990s when the dairy sector was basically devastated by the importation of milk powder, and the government at the time saw it fit to create the board to redevelop the sector. So as it stands now in terms of dairy milk production from cows, we're doing very well. Last quarter we are what? Plus 400,000 liters that we were last year, and the quarter before that we were plus 300,000. So right now the sector is growing,
Yeah.
and one of the reasons for that is last year we went on an aggressive, very aggressive pasture rehabilitation program where we planted over $3 million worth of improved varieties of seed, which you got some already.
Yes.
Mombasa,
Mhm.
Malato too. And once the cows have grass or the goat, they
Yeah.
will produce.
Yeah,
They will produce. So that
that's
is the
true.
main aim.
That's
On
the
the
main
other
aim.
side though, the government is transitioning the dairy board into what we call a livestock board. We're in the beginning phase of that, but they have also asked us to look at the growth of the small ruminant sector and also the beef cattle sector. So we're carrying that livestock team for the ministry.
Okay, so that's a good transition into where we're at with
Yeah,
small ruminants.
definitely.
Where we are with the increase in the productivity and the increase in actual numbers
For the small
for
ruminants.
the small
All right,
ruminants.
as you know that we're working with a few small ruminant dairy
Hmm.
farmers, right? And we've been providing them with access to semen. Your farm benefited.
Yeah,
A number of farms, small farmers, large farmers have benefited from it. And we continue to track the numbers of milk production at dairy goat level. We've been doing that for the past 3 years.
3 years. Yeah.
Right. And we have a officer that is our dairy technologist. She's in charge of the small ruminant sector to try and get it up as a cottage industry. But we're there, we're taking our time. It's been a long road. You know that.
Yeah,
right?
it's a long,
It's a
challenging road.
long, challenging road.
Hmm.
We got a lot of resistance, from a lot of people when it comes to the goats. But I guess now everybody is realizing that if you're growing dairy, you can't leave beef, and if you're growing beef and dairy, you can't leave out small ruminants.
Yeah,
It's one livestock sector, and we just have to keep that going,
yeah.
and then we'll probably reach where we need to go.
Okay. So as far as there was conversation about having goat dairy under the umbrella of
Let me stop this. Yeah.
yeah under the umbrella of dairy
All right. Good.
animals
Good
because
question.
currently legislatively goat is
Right.
not
Right. So
underneath that.
we're at the final stage of that. We're doing a cabinet submission
Hmm.
to amend the Dairy Board Act, not only to reflect bovine, but now to reflect small ruminant.
Yeah.
So that will now create the way now that the small ruminant dairy sector now can come fully under the Dairy Board.
So what that really means is anything that's coming on the pipeline for dairy
Will now
will
include
automatically include
small
small
ruminant dairy.
ruminants there. Okay.
Now we're at the final stage of that right now.
All right. All right. So what else? What's next?
What's next? Later this year, we'll be evaluating the livestock genetic improvement program with the semen that we have allowed the farmers to access. We're currently gathering up the numbers of the pregnancy conception rate
Hmm.
for both cattle, small ruminants, beef cattle, and dairy cattle.
So my
So
understanding is that it's a 3-year program.
it's a 3-year program, right? But we have to do a first year
Yeah.
evaluation. And after that, now we see where we adjust. One drawback with the program, we haven't done any embryo transfer yet. Because we're having problems sourcing the embryos.
Mhm.
That is a big task
Yeah.
to source embryos. So we haven't get to do that phase of the program yet. But so far so good in terms of the beef and the dairy cattle. Yeah.
I think my camera is over here.
Okay. I response. Yeah, you need to pull.
Yeah, I think it's overheating.
Maybe you need to take a break.
Yeah, it stopped. Yeah. That's why I wanted that thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Pulling.
gotta take a break. Yeah.
All right, cool.
We're here. Let me
Still
start this out
okay,
and
no
come back.
problem.
Thank you, serious.
Oh, we are talking about.
Yeah, we asked Denise.
So that's it. You went Ray?
Camera over it.
You went.
I think it stopped.
In about 2 minutes now, about a minute or so.
Yeah.
So we can just put in front of the fan, make it go and cool down.
Like,